What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another market update on loose graded vintage Star Wars figures. We've got a lot of really nice items, as you see in the thumbnail. Some pretty incredible prices on some of these. Last 17 figures, we had a vinyl cape Jawa sell for big money and everything in between. So I'm going to go ahead and dig right in. But before I do, I want to say thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys allow me to make more and better videos. Patreon.com/actionfiguregrader is where you can go to sign up to receive 24 hours early access to my videos. We're not going to waste any time, folks. We're going to dig right in to a UKG 90 vinyl cape Jawa. This one did have the older case style, but straight 90s for the sub scores, and it was in an auction, believe it or not. And I was really curious to see where this one would sell. I told Chris over at Rogue 5 Toys and 5 Idiots Talking Toys on YouTube, I was guessing around $4,000, and it did go past that price. It sold for $4,136 US dollars, or 3,400 pounds plus shipping. Wow, that is a really big number. That's still not the highest number I've seen, believe it or not. I saw an AFA 90 sell for almost $5,000 on Facebook. I guess it was probably about 5 or 6 months ago, but this one is pretty darn close, and $4,100 in an auction is a pretty incredible number. So congratulations to the seller on that one. Next up was a raised bar China Luke Farm Boy graded UKG 80%. This one did have the brand new case style, and this was a great buy. This was a fantastic buy, in my opinion, for a raised bar China. This one, again, was graded UKG 80, and it sold for 140 pounds, or about 170 US dollars. I mean, to me, that's a really good bargain. We saw a UKG 85% that sold for about 300 or so, maybe 330. So I think this one was appropriately discounted, and a pretty good value in my mind for that nice looking Luke Farm Boy. Next up was a Hong Kong Darth Vader, so a standard Hong Kong Vader, but this one did have a lettered saber hilt. It's not labeled as such on the UKG label, but the seller did provide a close-up of the saber to show that it has MM on the saber. So that's an early saber that came on some of the early card backs, kind of after the double telescoping Vader card back. You started to see the lettered sabers, and some of them did not have letters later on, but they're considered a kind of a desirable variant for sabers, and a lot of people do try to collect all the different letters on the sabers, which sounds like an impossible task to me, but good luck with that. Again, it was 85%, and it sold for 130 pounds, or $158. That's a good buy in my mind as well, with the brand new case style from UKG. Next up was another UKG 85 Darth Vader. This one did not have a lettered saber, just a standard saber, and it sold for 136 pounds, or about 165 US dollars. So this one, actually, with the lettered saber, sold for a little bit less. So, you know, that one's probably a better deal, but both of them were gorgeous examples, and both of them were Hong Kongs. Next up, this one was a beautiful example of the Han Solo large head, no COO. So this one would be like on Palatoy card backs, or potentially tri-logos. Straight 90s for the sub scores from UKG. It was listed for 310 pounds. The best offer that was accepted was 300 pounds. And again, as a reminder, if you have collections to sell, don't hesitate to reach out to me if you're looking to avoid the hassle of selling on eBay. I've tried to connect buyers with sellers, and I've had a number of subscribers take advantage of that and been very happy with everything. I don't charge anything. I'm not looking to make any money off of it. I just try to connect buyers and sellers. actionfiguregrader@gmail.com is where you can reach out to me, whether it's loose graded, mint on card, play sets, vehicles, creatures, whatever you got. Feel free to reach out to me if they're vintage Star Wars items. Next up, I could not believe the price on this one. This one was an AFA 85 brown hair and belt Princess Leia, brand new case style. So admittedly, a really nice figure, and we all know that these Leias can go for big money, but this one, this price really surprised me. It was listed for $850. The best offer that was accepted was $755. So that's a lot of money for a loose graded Leia, but that's what it commanded. $755 free shipping for an AFA 85 brown hair and belt Princess Leia Hong Kong COO. Next up was a UKG 60% Obi-Wan Kenobi, but this is the Lily Letty. The Lily Letty uses the same mold as the PBP Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it comes with a very specific thick tip saber. That's what she said. It sold for 123 pounds, or about 150 US dollars. So, you know, it was a lower grade, but these made in Mexico Lily Lettys are very desirable figures, even in lower grade like this. And even ungraded, they can sell for more than this. So I think that this price was more than adequate. And I knew immediately upon seeing it that it was the correct saber, and it was also the correct Lily Letty figure. It's known to have larger heels on his feet, and the eyes kind of have a heavy mascara look to it with a kind of a dark gray beard and hair. So this is absolutely the 60 grade Lily Letty, and you can see the pretty pronounced tear in the cape. The cape is also very specific to the Lily Letty factory, but again, it's lower grade, but it is a nice foreign variant, and I thought that price was great, just given what these can go for ungraded on Facebook. Next up was a Collector Archive Services 80 grade Brown Snake Yoda, and that sold for $350 US. So for an 80 grade, to me, this is an overpay. I think you could do better than this. I mean, as an example, just this past year or so, I picked up a Brown Snake Yoda for $165 ungraded. I spent about $40 grading it plus shipping to and back. So let's call it about $210 all in. And it got an 80 plus, I believe. I'm going on memory. It might have been an 85 actually. I think it was a CAS 85 grade for mine. So for an 80 grade for $350, that seems high to me. That's just my personal opinion on it. But the Brown Snake Yodas continue to go up in price, so I can understand the appeal of it. Next up was a no COO Hoth Stormtrooper. So harder to find this one. This is an archival case, AFA 85, no COO, split visor, COO on boot. So it's on the boot, on the back of the boot. There is also a COO on the back of the hamstring on the figure. But this is the new no COO, so this would appear on like Palatoy cards or Tri-Logos. Not to be confused with the PBP figure with the scar or the hard torso. This is a straight no COO, and this is one I actually don't have in my collection. I've got maybe 6 or 7 different COOs for the Hoth Stormtrooper, but I don't have the no COO. This one sold for 250 pounds or about $303 US. Awfully nice looking figure, very bright white, and probably worth every penny, just given how hard it is to find that particular COO. Next up, this was another nice one. This is the Droid Factory 3-legged R2-D2 AFA 85. So you knew it was going to go for big money. It sat at a higher list price for a while and then finally did come back down just a little bit, and it did sell for $730 US, free shipping. So tough to find that one in a high grade. It's just one of those ones that where the sticker usually is yellowed on it, and 80 plus sometimes, but this is the first time I've seen an AFA 85 in a long time, probably dating back to middle of last year. So that one again sold for $730. Same seller also had an AFA 80 Cloud Car Pilot, brand new case style. It was listed for $230, and the best offer that was accepted was $210 US. So again, an AFA 85 they can sell for $300 or more. I've seen as high as $400 for an AFA 85. An AFA 85 Plus sold on CIB's auction last year for almost $900, if memory serves. It might have been even over $900. So tough to find this one in a high grade, but an 80 grade is a near mint minus figure, and that price reflects that the discount versus AFA 85s and above. So $210 free shipping took that one home. Next up was a Taiwan Boba Fett UKG 85%. I think that this one did not have the V5 Imperial Blaster, because usually UKG labels it on the label when it is included, but it did have the brand new case style. That sold for 277 pounds or about $337 US in an auction, 30 bids. That closed on February 12th. We're going to start digging into some more of the bounty hunters now. We've got Forlom in an AFA 85. That one sold. Best offer that was accepted was 148 pounds plus shipping, so about $200 US or so. But a really nice Hong Kong COO Forlom AFA 85 archival case. Yet another bounty hunter. We got an AFA 80 plus silver IG 88 Hong Kong. That one was listed for $200. That one sold for $175 free shipping. Another bounty hunter, AFA 85, circles on the heels of the Hong Kong Zuckuss. Brand new case style. It was listed for $230. The best offer that was accepted was $200. So lots of bounty hunters there. And then finally, this is probably an eye-popping price here for you, but this was an AFA 85 plus Bossk. So tough to find this one. This was the Hong Kong with the olive head and glossy paint finish. Brand new case style. That sold for $472. And I know that seems like a lot of money, but we documented one last year that was an AFA 90 that sold for $680. $460. So this one was appropriately discounted, and it did sell in an auction again for $472. So AFA 85 plus for that Bossk. Now we're going to dig into some items from CIB, and we talked recently about the difference in price for loose graded AFA action figures, old case versus new case. And all of these are very high grade, and they were all old cases. And you could probably argue that the prices were a little bit low for some of them, and then high or higher than I expected for some of them as well. This one was an uncirculated 90 grade Hong Kong Neon Num that sold for $182. I would argue that in the brand new case style, this probably would have sold for $250 plus pretty easily. But this one did have the older case style. This one did not even have the dowels going around the neck. So this was one of the very early case styles from AFA. But as you can see there, it's a U90 grade. CIB also had a U90 Bib Fortuna Taiwan. And this one surprised me on the upper end of the scale. Again, it was the oldest case style that AFA used to use. Green lining, dark staff, Taiwan Bib Fortuna. And that was an uncirculated 90 that sold for $333. That's a big number. And I don't know if you'd necessarily get that much higher of a price if it had the brand new case style. That one in particular seemed to go pretty high despite the older case style. Next up was an A-Wing pilot, U85 grade. That one sold for $365. Again, that's one I think that would have sold a little bit higher if it did have the newer case style, probably in the 4s somewhere. But $365 took that one home. And then next up was an uncirculated 90 grade Imperial Dignitary Last 17. Again, the old case style, but still a pretty amazing price, $449 US plus shipping on that one. And that's probably one that probably would have held up right around that same price point had it had the newer case style. I just don't see that much of a price difference given how much somebody paid for that one. But it is tough to find that one in a high grade, usually because of the nose rub, as we've talked about, but a very nice example from CIB. And then finally, we had a UKG 80% Yak Face. This one did have the brand new case style and sold for $607 US or 500 pounds, plus another 20 pounds shipping. So, I was thinking that would be the kind of sales price for a UKG 85%, but that just seems to be the going rate these days, that Yak Faces, no matter whether they're 80, 85, or above, they continue to command big money. I did see one, recently on Facebook that sold for $650. Another collector that I know bought an AFA 85 for $600 in a private transaction. So this one obviously went as high as some AFA 85s in private transactions on Facebook, but it is on eBay, and you're going to have to pay a little bit more just given the number of eyeballs that are on some of these items. So anyway, that's all I really had for this video. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of these loose graded sales. Thanks again, as always, for watching, and I'll be back soon.